I was just thinking about how we value what is important in life in a way so that we don't diminish the little things. And every morning I get up and I have to get my 4-year-old up around 6:30, 6:40, get him ready for daycare. And he's long and tall and all the things, but he want to be held like a baby. And he sleeps upstairs in the loft on the couch. You know, as a parent, you pick and choose your battles, right? And I get him, and it's like, that's my boy, and I love him, and so I'm treating him, babying him up, and I go to kiss him on the cheeks, and then I look, and it's like all the situation going on with the boogers and the eyes and all, and I'm like, ew, right? And as a father, getting him ready, I make sure that it's like doing surgery, and he's upset, and doing all the jerking and all of the things. And I tell him, I say, you represent us. And I say, you can't go to school with, the little boogie monsters in your nose, all of the things we do as parents. I said, because it's important that, you go to school looking presentable, right? You want to look presentable, right? And just reminding him, teaching him some values of what's important, how to dress, how to look. And what's really, really important is the fact that God woke us up. That he woke us up this morning, that we have breath in our bodies, that all of the things, that is what's really inherently more important, that we have life. But I don't use that as a way to diminish the fact that I also need to teach him values and how to be presentable and how to look. And so what am I saying? In some weird way, it all matters. It all matters, right? And even our ability, our God-given ability to decide what's more important and what matters and what doesn't matter, that is a blessing in itself too. There are things that matter more, right? There are things that matter most. And I say this because I think the way we sometimes message certain things and areas in our life, we are friends of God. We are friends of God. So when you are behind on your mortgage or behind on your utilities or frustrations with work and having feelings, because he cares about our feelings too. We have a lot of confused messaging around feelings, right? As believers, and faith over fear and all of the things that we do. Y'all don't want to study David, right? Because we live within the tension of not allowing our feelings to dictate our lives in a way that deceive us, while also making sure that we use our feelings. They help us with intuition. They help us to reflect and recover and all of the things, because we're nuanced in that way, right? And God understands that. He understands us. As a friend holds you accountable. As a friend, they rebuke you. As a friend, sometimes you're called on, right? And God does that. He did it with Moses, when he looks at Moses and he says to him, I've called you to do something. And Moses said, I stutter. You. And God said, man, who created your mouth, right? That's holding him accountable, reminding him of what matters. But then God considers him by saying this: okay, I'll let Aaron be your mouthpiece. I'll let your brother be your mouthpiece. He doesn't just call, it mattered to him how Moses felt. And so I think it's important that we recognize that in some strange way, it all matters. And we don't want to diminish certain areas and spaces and constantly remind, this matters more than this, and this matters more than that. Because then I would go, if you're going to keep reminding of that, why does it matter? I don't remind my barber, like, it don't matter if you give me the greatest haircut in the world, bro. It don't even matter. Like, now I'm diminishing the moment when I came to get a great haircut, right? And so all of these moments and spaces and things that we do, they matter. And life has a way of reminding of us of what's the most important thing, right? And we don't have to constantly remind ourselves. I think sometimes we do that as a mechanism, right? Life has a way of humbling you. Life has a way of doing all of the things. God has a way of reminding you of what's important. And I would say it all matters. And he considers it all. And the things that don't matter, they don't matter.